It feels kind of weird today to be talking about turning down job offers, but with what looks to be an economic recovery well underway, multiple offer scenarios are starting to become a reality for many people looking to break into the real estate industry today. And saying no to the wrong job is just as important as finding the right opportunity, and especially if you're in your first few years in the industry, it can be easy not to know what to look for when your only frames of reference are informational interviews or short-term internship experiences. So in this video, to help you weed out the opportunities that just won't be the right fit for you, what we'll do is break down 3 scenarios where I'd recommend thinking twice about accepting an offer and how to make sure you're not headed into a career dead end in your first or next role in the commercial real estate industry. So since the beginning of this year, hiring has picked up across the entire US economy, real estate included. The US Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, or JOLTS, put together by the Bureau of Labor Statistics each month, reported that job openings were up a massive 40.8% year over year in March of this year, and we've already seen a 14.4% increase between January and March of 2021 alone. And this is great news for real estate professionals looking to land their first job in the industry or switch shops, but with that, it's also easy to get stuck in a beggars can't be choosers mentality after coming out of a year where we saw 15% unemployment and millions of jobs lost across the country. And while being grateful to have a job is a very helpful mentality to have, it can also set you up for disaster if that job isn't the right fit. So to help you sidestep those opportunities that might set your own career into disaster mode, in this video, let's walk through 3 scenarios where I've seen taking a job actually backfire and how to determine whether to take a role or to pass on a new position. So the first scenario on this list, and potentially hardest to spot during the interview process, is that the team that you'll be working with isn't the right fit. It's usually pretty easy to spot if a company as a whole won't be a great place to work or doesn't have a great reputation, but what happens if you're interviewing at a big global company with a great brand name and something feels off about the specific team that you'll be working for? If you get word from multiple people that your hiring manager is hard to work for, or that the office environment is tense and hostile, or that turnover is especially high within the team you're considering joining, these are all things to take note of and verify. Just because a well-known brokerage or private equity shop has a great national reputation doesn't mean that their Atlanta office will operate in the same way as their New York office, and the reputation of the company alone won't help you feel any better when you're at the office at 11 p.m. on a Friday night or waking up early to jump on a 7 a.m. call on Easter Sunday. And if the environment is really bad, this can create a situation where you feel like you have to leave in just a few months on the job, which can leave a pretty big black eye on your resume and can raise some questions from recruiters when looking for your next role. So the question from here becomes, how do you know if the team you'd be joining isn't all it's cracked up to be, especially if you can't get a good feel for this during the interview process? Well, the most direct way to find this out is to talk to 2 different people. The first is someone that currently works in your position, so this could be another analyst on your team, for example, and someone who formerly worked in the position that you'd be taking on. The first person is really easy to find, and most firms are not going to have any problem connecting you with a current team member if you ask. And this isn't meant to be treated as an interrogation, but it can be a great opportunity to learn things like what the person wishes they knew before they took the role, how team managers measure success in the position, and where they've seen people who have taken this position go in the future. And with technology today, the second person is also relatively easy to find, with LinkedIn search being a great tool to identify people who have had your same job title at the company in your same city in the past. You can also take a look at tenures in the position and whether these people decided to stay at the company or move elsewhere, both of which can give you some sense of how they enjoyed their experience and whether they would recommend the role to a friend. Now, if the team feels right, the next scenario where you might want to think twice about taking an offer is when the work-life balance of the position isn't the right fit. Now, this is absolutely not meant to knock hard work, and in fact, it can be a huge asset for young professionals to put in long hours in the first few years of their career. What I'm talking about here is a lack of alignment between either personal preferences or life circumstances and the expectations of the role itself. If you're young, single, and just out of college, working 80 to 100-hour weeks can be a great fit, and that can allow you to gain significant amounts of experience in a very short period of time. But for someone in their mid 30s who's married with a family that's looking to drop their kids off at school every day and make it to soccer games, a job like this would not be the right fit, and that employee probably wouldn't last long in that type of environment. And this isn't really talked about much, but on the flip side of this, I would also be careful of the inverse of this scenario, or being in a position that might not work you hard enough for the stage of your career and life that you're in. If you're just graduating from college, hungry, and looking to gain experience quickly and progress through the ranks faster than your peer group, taking a job where everyone just leaves at 5 p.m. every day is going to leave you really frustrated and ready to jump ship in short order. And again, jumping ship quickly can lead to questions on your resume and potential issues down the line when you're looking to find your next opportunity in the industry. The important thing here is to know yourself and what you want from a work-life balance perspective, and then follow that knowledge and be honest with yourself when deciding on a position you're ready to take on. And finally, the last scenario on this list where you might want to pass on a job offer is when the pay of the position doesn't meet your expectations and isn't likely to change in the very near future. Now, I've said on this channel before that pay shouldn't be one of your core driving factors when you're first breaking into the industry, but if there's a significant gap between what you know you're worth in the market and what you're being paid, this can be a recipe for a really big disaster. There are definitely scenarios where taking a job that isn't paying you fair market value temporarily can be worth it, but these scenarios either involve positions with dramatic learning potential in a very short period of time, or very clear financial upside in the near future if you perform. Salaried positions with companies with a very small pay for performance component that don't meet your salary expectations when you're first being hired probably won't dramatically change 2 to 3 years down the road. And unfortunately, this could also anchor you to lower pay expectations when you ultimately leave the company, which could mean you'll sell yourself short in your next negotiation, potentially leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table over the span of your entire career. The way this generally plays out is that a new hire reluctantly accepts a position even when the company just can't get to the employee's target compensation package, with the new hire saying yes, usually out of fear that something better won't come along. From there, every time something frustrating comes up on the job, one of your first thoughts is going to be, they don't pay me enough to do this, and major resentment is going to start creeping in. And eventually, this can lead to all-out rage when heavy demands are placed on your time, leading to either outbursts on the job, looking for a new job within just 3 to 6 months, or quitting altogether without another position lined up, all of which spell trouble for a young real estate professional in an industry that describes itself as a very small world. In my experience, it's better to not stop the negotiation process until you feel like what you're being paid is fair, and if the company that you're negotiating with just can't get there, it's often better to pass and wait for the next company that can. Overall, it's great news that we're even talking about this, because this means that hiring is picked up and your chances of breaking into the real estate industry or landing a new job in the business are significantly better than they've been in over a year. And if you are trying to break into the industry or make a career move and want to make sure you're prepared for applications or interview day, make sure to check out Breaking to CRE Academy, which will give you instant access to our entire library of coursework on real estate financial modeling and analysis to build the technical skill sets you'll need to land a role in the industry, and access to members-only private email-based career coaching to help you navigate your own unique scenario and find the position that's the best fit for you. And if you like this video and want to see more career-related content like this on this channel, make sure to hit the like button to let me know, and let me know in the comments if you've ever taken a position that just didn't end up being the right fit and what you learned from the experience. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.